Motivation is garbage. When you don't need motivation, you have a lot of motivation, but when you need really the motivation, you don't have the motivation. I want that in the early morning, 4 o'clock, I should wake up because I have to study. But in 4 o'clock, when I'm sleeping in my cozy bed, there is no motivation. That nobody is making the news. I cannot make the news. Any other institution cannot make the news. They are simply giving you in compiled format what is happening there in the world. Any scheme is being launched by government. Aspirants have asked this particular question with me that, sir, is this particular module of Roundup 2024 sufficient? Can we rely on this? Do we need to read some other material after this? For example, PT 365 or many such kind of materials are there. Okay. Do I need to revise my notes if I have made? So I would like to answer this particular question. Fine. The problem of procrastination will be solved. Problem of indiscipline, that you plan reading current affairs, but then you get bored and you just keep it. That thing will be solved. That, believe me, I'm saying from my own personal experience that these habits are going to help you the most. You will not curse yourself that I did not give my 100% or I could have done more better. If I would have done more better, things would have been more better. At least that guilt will not come in your mind. And guilt is something that haunt every person the most. Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you, and I welcome you all to orientation cum induction class for Roundup 2024 current affairs batch. So this particular session would be divided in these three parts. Now understand this particular thing, that prelims examination is more about mindset and attitude rather than content that you have prepared. It is more about the mindset and attitude. Few things I would like to tell you after my experience in the field of UPSC. The day you are going to go for examination, keep this particular thing in your mind. There will be maximum 40 to 45 questions that you will be knowing. If you have prepared really well, you are preparing for last 2-3 years, it might be 45 questions, but you are a decent student, it might be around 40 questions. But if we attempt these particular questions, there is no way we are going to clear prelims paper. Why? Because though you think you know 40 to 45 questions, but here also there will be a lot of mistakes that will happen, silly mistakes that will be there. Safe range to clear the prelims examination is around 75 to 80 questions at least. It can be plus minus 5 to 7 questions. 75 to 80 questions at least you have to attempt. Only after that you have certain chance, because here also certain questions will go wrong. So your total might reach in the range of 100, 105. But a question comes in our mind that you will be knowing around 40 to 45 question max, but you have to attend approximately 75 to 80 question. How this particular thing is going to happen? There is gap of around 30 to 35 question. How we are going to cover this particular thing? So here you have to take calculated risk hour after you attend 45 question. To reach the number of 75, you have to use certain permutation, combination, you have to use certain logic, you have to apply rationality. Then only you can attend 75 to 80 question. But for that particular thing, for taking this particular calculated risk, you have to be calm in examination. You have to be calm in examination. Okay, because if we are not calm in examination hall, often we are not able to attend the questions. Understand this particular thing. Suppose there is a very simple question. There is a very simple question. Question is like, what Article 70 provides for? What Article 17 provides for? Now I know this particular thing, that Article 17 provides for abolition of untouchability. And option number B mentions abolition of untouchability. Now, because I am not calm, because I am not confident on my preparation, I will question myself that how I can know this particular answer straightforward. Is there some twist? Is there some catch? I will be going in that particular kind of analytical approach where I will waste time. And in this particular capacity, what happened? My attempt will be spoiled. So we have to be calm. We have to be calculated in examination. For that particular thing, there are certain things that you need. Number one, what you need? You need to have wide coverage. You need to have wide coverage of the topics. UPSC Prelims is not only about the depth. Now they are testing the depth. Okay, but it is not only about the depth. Along with the depth, it is also about the width. If you have done wide extensive study for environment, for geography, for history, okay, for current affairs, it is pretty much sure that with the help of some permutation combination, you will be able to attempt more number of questions. So first of all, there should be the wide coverage. Secondly, there should be no FOMO syndrome in your mind. There should be no FOMO syndrome in your mind. FOMO stands for fear of missing out. If before the examination this particular things comes to your mind that I have not prepared history properly, I have not prepared geography properly, then in examination you will not be able to take that particular calculated risk. So this should not be there, that okay, I'm not well prepared. This should not be there, okay, I have not done current affairs properly, I have not done history properly, or I have left these many chapters of geography which are actually very important. Even if you have left, then assume this particular thing that they were not important. Okay, so such FOMO should not be there in your mind. Then third thing is that you should learn the art of using indirect knowledge. You should learn the art of using indirect knowledge. You have learned something in environment. There, its application could be in geography. You learn something in geography, its application could be in current affairs. So how to make these indirect linkages, how to use indirect knowledge, you need to learn that. And then fourthly, static is the key. Static is key. Static is the key. If your command over the static, basic history, geography, economy, environment, polity is not there, then it is going to be very difficult to clear the prelims examination. Okay. So it is going to be very difficult to clear the prelims examination. These are certain things which if you have covered, you will have a calm mind in examination. And by that, even though you know 40-45 question, you will be able to reach to the mark of 75-80. Now, in this particular scenario, current affairs is going to play a very important role. Current affairs is going to play a very important role. Now, guys, when we talk about current affairs, in current affairs, we are going to touch upon areas of economy, we are going to touch upon areas of environment, we are going to touch upon areas of art and culture, science and technology. And this particular current affairs classes that we are going to take will ensure over this particular wide coverage. Over this particular wide coverage. Okay, so these particular classes are going to ensure this particular wide coverage. Now, guys, understand this particular thing that first of all, before starting the classes, this thing will come in your mind, and even many of the aspirants have asked this particular question with me that, sir, is this particular module of Roundup 2024 sufficient? Can we rely on this? Do we need to read some other material after this? For example, PT 365 or many such kind of materials are there. Okay, do I need to revise my notes if I have made? So I would like to answer this particular question. Now, understand this particular thing. You talk about any current affairs material. You talk about any current affair material. How a material is made in an institution. By the way, I myself is associated with some of the premier institutions here in Old Rajendra Nagar. Many of you know that also. Fine. So how the content is made? Fine. I am associated with Forum IAS as well as Shubhra Ranjan IAS. Okay. So how the content is made? News is first published in newspaper. Any news is published in the newspaper. It is published, let's say, in PIB if it is some government news. So government ministries give information to PIB, and in PIB it is published. From there it is taken in the newspaper, or if it is some other news, then newspapers publish it. Now, content team of any institution, what it does, their work is to scan through the different newspaper. For example, they will be scanning Hindu newspaper, they will be scanning Indian Express newspaper, they will be scanning PIB newspaper. And from there, what they will do, they will segregate the news in different sections. For example, polity news, news for environment, news for economy, news related to international relation or organization. Likewise, they will be segregating this particular news. And at the end of the month, what they are going to do, they will compile all these particular news in one particular 78 pages booklet, and that particular booklet will be released in the market. That particular booklet will be released in the market. Now, these are the monthly magazines. Then what will happen? Every institution, they have made one entire year's current affairs. Okay, and in every current affair booklet, they have this section of environment, economy, IR, etc. Then what they will do? All the 12 months of economy, they will compile together and they will make out, they will bring one economy booklet. All environment, economy, environment, IR, they will compile that at one place and will be coming out with one particular booklet. Okay, this is the way that the things happen. Now, even current affairs that you are taking here, material that you are reading there, you understand this particular thing, that nobody is making the news. I cannot make the news. Any other institution cannot make the news. They are simply giving you in compiled format what is happening there in the world. Any scheme is being launched by government. Okay, if Israel, Hamas, if let's say Operation Prosperity Guardian has been launched, we need to read it, but we don't have any control in launching that particular program. So my point is that any institution, they are not making their own news. No institution have their own reporters. No institution is doing their own journalism. No institution is creating their own news. Everybody is following this particular thing, that is newspaper, PIB, or some other magazines such as Down to Earth, etc. that are there. So what we are going to do, we are also going to cover all these particular sources that are there. Now, if you are following the channel, and I know that you have come from the channel, so guys, from last 4 years, continuously, we are doing the Hindu newspaper analysis. First video that I shot on this particular channel was on 25th of March 2020. And next month, March, next to next month, March, we will complete 4 years. So point is that same newspaper is being covered, which other institutions are covering. So this particular module is neither better than the other. I will not say that it is the perfect module and the best current affair we are doing. No, that cannot happen. And anybody saying that this is the best current affair, it is simply playing with your emotion. Current affair is a current affair. Only one thing I can assure you, that here, I will ensure that you get the most holistic coverage for the UPSC Prelims examination. Okay. Also understand this particular thing, that there is nothing that you read and then you will know everything in the current affairs. There is nothing like that. Current affairs is such a wide, such a big area that even if I read current affairs for 24 hours, there might be certain development happening in this or that corner that I will miss. And that will happen with everybody. Even you ask me something with respect to current development, there might be a possibility that I might not be able to give the answer immediately, because the nature of current affair is that. We need to avoid this particular FOMO. We need to avoid this particular thing, that we will do mastery. We need to understand that we need to do such a wide coverage with respect to current affairs, that if any question is coming on the current affair, we should know it. And if we don't know it, then anybody else is, others are also not knowing it. Okay. Problem is when you don't know, others know. That is the problem. But if nobody knows, then that is not a problem. So, is it the best current affairs? There is nothing like best. But is it holistic? Yes, that I can assure you, that I can give you guarantee, that I can give you the word that this is going to be the most holistic coverage. We are going to scan all these particular sources, and entire last 1 year would be covered. So this is something that first of all I would like to focus upon. Now, moving on. So one thing, guys, just I want to tell you, you need not to have any insecurity in your mind. Okay. Now understand this particular thing. I would like to explain the purpose of this particular course with the help of one analogy. Let's understand this particular thing. So basically, I ensure this particular thing, that I am at least for 4 or 5 times at least in a week, fine, at least for 4 or 5 times in a week, I am going to the gym. Okay. And whenever I go to the gym, I ensure that I am doing my workout with a trainer. Fine, with a trainer. Obviously, it takes some money, but I ensure that I am working out with a trainer. Why? It's not because that I want to go in some bodybuilding competition. It is not because that a trainer will be able to tell me something extra. No, there are same type of workout regimens, there are same type of machines, same type of equipment. Everybody is using that. I am also going to use that. But how a trainer will help? If I go to the gym and let's say if I have to do 6 exercises, maybe I don't have a mood. If I am alone, I might do 3 exercises and then I will come. I might do 4 exercises or 2 exercises. I will not do with full efficiency, or I might give up in between. I will come because there is nobody to check. But if there is a trainer standing over my head, he will ensure that I do 6 exercises properly, or 90 to 95% properly. Also, if I am there in the gym, I don't need to use my brain that, okay, what I should do now, what I should do now, what I should do now. It is saving my lot of energy. This is the only reason that I take a trainer. The same thing is here in the current affairs. Now, right now, your energy, your effort is very important. You don't have that time, you don't have that energy that you are going to scroll the content in the market and you are choosing what I should read, what I should not read. That is the job of this particular class. So we have chosen the topics, we have prepared the content, and we are going to discuss that particular thing with you in an interactive capacity, in an interactive manner, so that you need not to spend your energy in this capacity. Also, one more analogy I would like to give. So basically, this is the time when I started my preparation. Now you see this particular thing. It was, I think, first or second day I was in my room. This was here old Rajendra only. One of senior, his name was Ankit. His name was Ankit. He was working in NTPC at that point of a time, and he came in old Rajendra Nagar on a leave to prepare for this examination. He asked a question that what is Article 111? What is Article 111? I remember Article 111 even till today. At that point of a time, I didn't knew. He told me that Article 111 is about the assent of president. I never forgot Article 111. Even today, I remember Article 111 very vividly. Why? Somebody else told that particular thing. Now understand this particular thing. Learning. There are many different aspects of learning. If I am simply reading a text, there will be a particular efficiency of learning will be limited. But when somebody is telling me, when somebody is writing on the board, when somebody is dictating, when somebody is using the hand expressions, what happen? The same thing you remember for a longer period of time. So this is the only objective that a class serves. Retention will be more longer when somebody is telling you actively. Secondly, if we are doing 2.5 hours of class every weekend, 5 hours of class every weekend, this is at least 5 hours that you are going to read current affairs. Otherwise, discipline might not come. You might think that, okay, I will do it, but then you will postpone it, procrastination will come. But if there is 2 classes every week and you make a radical habit that I am not going to miss any class, every class I will attend live, at least this problem of discipline would be solved and more long-term retention will be there. So what to expect from this particular current affairs class? Number one, coverage will be widest possible. Coverage will be widest possible. But don't expect this particular thing that after that you will be Google, that everything you will know, because that cannot happen. So I will be pretty honest with you on the day one and on the last day. Widest possible coverage. Second, classes would be interactive, which will ensure in long-term retention. Long-term retention. Third, what you can expect? Third, you can expect that if you make a radical habit, of attending every class, that too live, fine, the problem of procrastination will be solved. Problem of indiscipline, that you plan reading current affairs, but then you get bored and you just keep it. That thing will be solved. That particular thing will be solved. So these particular things is something that I can guarantee you in this particular module. Okay, fine. That is something. Now moving on, what will be the structure of the classes? What will be the structure of the classes? Number one, classes would be held as of now, classes would be held on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday. Now, question. Why I don't take everyday class and cover this in 1 or 2 months? Reason. Reason is this, that if I take everyday class and will cover, let's say in the month of February or March, what about the March current affair? What about the April month current affair? We are doing it every weekend, 2 classes, so that your static is not compromised. So that your static is not compromised. Number two, we are deliberately taking, this is intentional, this is a deliberative. I am taking this particular course till April, so that latest coverage of the month of March, mid-March, April, that can also be given to you, because in past UPSC has asked the question on the recent developments also. So this is the reason that we are going to do it. Now, classes will be there on Saturday and Sunday. Classes will be there on Saturday and Sunday. Now, Monday to Friday, you will be devoting this entire week to static areas, such as history, geography, polity, likewise. Saturday and Sunday will be the 2 days on which we are going to look for the current affairs. Now, even Saturday, your day till at least 5 p.m. in the evening, you will be giving to the static area. Only the day of Sunday will be the one which you will be devoting to current affairs. Only the day of Sunday is the one which you are devoting for the current affairs. What we are going to do? 2.5 hours class will take. Then remaining day, you are going to revise what we have done previously. Now, first, second classes, there will be not that much content to revise. But as we will go 4, 5, 6 classes will happen, there will be a lot of backlog that will be there. And for revising this, you need at least 1 day every week. I am not saying that every day you read current affairs, only give 1 day, that is the day of Sunday. If you don't have that much problem, Sunday you can also use for CSAT. So just give Sunday for current affairs. Okay. Revisions will also be done from my side in class. Okay. Revision will also be done through the MCQ questions that I have said that will be covered. MCQ questions will also be covered. Okay. This is the scenario. Okay. Sir, is this 1 year current affair from January 2023 or June 2023? It is around May 2023 till April, May 2024. Fine. Also one more thing. It is not a red line that only 1 year. For example, there was IPCC 6 assessment report that was released. And in this particular report, certain concepts important for ecology, environment, and geography has been discussed. Now, this current affair is 1.5 year old, but I'm going to cover it. Okay. So there are certain developments that are 1.5 year before that were there in the news, but these areas are very important. A lot big probabilities there that they can be asked in the exam. So they will be covered. So point is that 1 year, this entire will be covered. But even if some important aspects are there, which have been in the news 1.5 year back, 2 year back, that will also be covered. Okay. So classes will be on Saturday and Sunday. Timing of the class will be 6 p.m. One more thing I would like to tell you, that if there is some unavoidable circumstances any week, then we might shift the class, but it is for sure that 2 classes per week will be there initially. If laterwards we want to do more classes in order to do more coverage, then expect that more classes can also be there. Either the duration of class could be extended on Saturday or Sunday, or we can keep 3 or 4 classes also per week. This is there. So my point is that we want to do most comprehensive current affair coverage, but that should not come in should not interfere with your static area. Then next thing with respect to notes. Now I hope that you are following it very carefully. Okay. Okay, sir, some current affairs need around 2 years. Yes, that I said that if some news was there 2 years back, but is important, then we will go 2 years back also. If something is important, fine, but was in news 2.5 years back, we'll go 2.5 years back also. Okay, so that will be done. Now understand this particular thing, notes. So basically, guys, you need not to have any notebook. You need not to make any new notes. No need to make any new notes. No need to make any new notes. Fine, you not need to do that. Why? Because making notes will take a lot of time. We don't have that type of time right now. So what will be done? We have class on Saturday and Sunday. Now the classes will be in the evening. In morning, Saturday, handout or PDF will be uploaded on your portal. If you prefer digital notes, just download that particular notes and open it in your iPad or your tablet in the class. If you prefer hard copy, then take a printout of that particular notes in the morning itself and have that particular copy with you during the class. Now, the structure of notes will be like this. Structure of notes will be like this. Suppose this is your page. This is your page. Fine. Here there will be gap. Here there will be gap or there will be margin. Fine. Whatever you have to scribble, whatever you have to note, you have to scribble here in this particular margin only. You need not to have any separate notebook. Why? Because we don't have that particular time. Okay. So here you can scribble, you can note it down. There will be space. Second thing, understand this particular thing, that when we talk about prelims, now this particular batch is specifically for prelims 2024. Already you know this particular thing. When we talk about prelims, current affairs orientation is more of a factual come conceptual. Factual come conceptual. Are you getting it or not? For mains examination, we need keywords, we need flowery languages, we need anecdotes, etc. because they are needed for mains examination. But for prelims examination, we don't need that flowery language, that elaborative background, etc. So notes will be such that to the point, precise information will be there. No blabber in the notes. And don't expect it. Don't expect any blabber, any flowery language, any such unnecessary information. Very to the point, precise notes will be there. So my point is that you should not ignore anything in the notes. Notes are the most important one. Notes are the most important one. Fine. In ethics class, the ones who are there in the ethics, you know this particular thing, that we take a lot of dictation whenever it is needed, because that nature of ethics is such that you have to be more elaborative. But in prelims, no such dictation, etc. will be there. Why? Because time is important. Any information that is important, I will give myself, I will do the hard work. You are not required to do that particular thing. Now, for upcoming days, you need to have certain radical habits. You need to have certain radical habits. Okay. And this is something that, please believe me, I'm saying from my own personal experience that these habits are going to help you the most. Your preparation, your study will have a particular role to play, but some certain habits are the most important one. Number one, be organized. Be organized. Now, when I talk about this being organized, when I talk about this particular thing being organized, what do I mean by this particular thing? Be organized. Plan your day in advance. Plan your day in advance. If you don't drive your day will drive you. If you don't drive your day will drive you. Plan your day in advance. And planning for your day will happen one day before, one day prior. Every evening, what you need to do? You need to prepare a checklist for the next day. You need to prepare the checklist for the next day. For example, what are the things that I am going to do the next day? What are the things that I am going to do the next day? Okay, I had a kind of a checklist here also. Fine, I could have shown you also. Or simply what you can do, you can buy a diary. In that diary, next day, I am going to read 5 chapters of Lakshmikant. I am going to read 2 chapters of spectrum history. I am going to solve one previous year question paper. This, that, this, that, this, that. Fine. Write 5 or 7 most important tasks and next day get automated. Get automated. Simple, only one priority, that I have to tick mark all these particular things. Don't think. Now understand this thing. Our most precious energy is wasting in planning and organizing. So you should become the robot next day. One. Second, Please don't waste your time in looking for motivation. Please don't your time in looking for motivation. Motivation is garbage. When you don't need motivation, you have a lot of motivation, but when you need really the motivation, you don't have the motivation. I want that in the early morning, 4 o'clock, I should wake up because I have to study. But in 4 o'clock, when I'm sleeping in my cozy bed, there is no motivation. So motivation, we can never rely. Motivation is garbage. What will help? Discipline will help. What will help? Discipline will help. Motivation is you will do work when there is a drive, but discipline is that you will do work when there is no drive. So motivation is garbage. Also, we think that first motivation will come, then we will do the work. But first you do the work, automatically by doing the work, motivation will come, and then that motivation will propel you towards your next goal. So when you feel demotivated, when you feel that, okay, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to read, just open your book and read 2 pages. Just read 2 pages. I'm not saying read 20 pages, just read 2 pages. The moment you do that, you create a positive perception of yours. You create a positive image of yours. Are you getting it or not? So understand this thing. Motivation is garbage. Action leads to motivation. Fine. Never look for the motivation as a first thing. Then the next third thing that I want to ensure is that for upcoming days till the prelims examination, please don't sweat. Don't sweat over tiny things. Don't sweat over tiny things. What do I mean? Don't be bothered that today I have got the bad taste food. Yes. So don't sweat over the things that, okay, why the world is so bad. Don't sweat over the things that, okay, my landlord is very loud. Why today I got uh, eggplant in my tiffin. Fine, we don't have that particular time. It drains a lot of energy. Pick your battles wisely. Again, I'm speaking a line. Pick your battles wisely for upcoming 3 months. Pick your battles wisely. You need not to waste your energy on the things which don't have anything to do with this particular examination. With this particular examinations, pick your battles wisely. Then, one more thing, just I would like to advise. Now, see, though this is not a thumb rule, but I want you that please ensure this particular thing that you attend as many as live classes. Attend as many as live classes. Now you will say that, sir, I don't want to attend live class because after the class is over, I can watch the class at 2x speed. I can watch the class at 2x speed. So I want to waste my, I want to save my time. I don't want to watch live, but understand this thing. We don't hear the song on 2x speed. When we are watching the movie, we don't watch it on 2x speed. You see this thing that your brain, it needs some time to absorb the information. Particularly in educational videos, when there is so much of content dense information, you need to go a little bit slowly so that your mind is able to absorb the dense information. You need to give it time. Okay, this is the reason that I want that please watch it at a natural speed. Give your brain time to sink in with the information. Okay, one thing. Secondly, if you have this radical habit that I have to attend the class live, you will be more disciplined. You will be more disciplined. And I have seen this particular thing by my personal experience. Students who attended the classes live, even in the ethics batch, they completed course much earlier than the students who were watching recorded. Now, there are certain students. Now, one thing, please don't take it wrong. You might have certain family constraints, professional constraints. There might be some other classes that you might have, and it is not possible for you to watch live on Saturday and Sunday at a particular time. Okay, fine. If that is the case, then you have an exception. But if that is not the case, don't give your mind a lot of bandwidth to think. Just do this particular thing. Okay. Also, one more thing, guys, I would like to tell you that this particular time of next 3.5 months that we have, it is very important time period. It is very important time period. Understand this particular thing that though we do a lot of hard work, there is no guarantee. And I'll be very practical with you. I will be very pragmatic and very practical with you. There is no guarantee that you will still clear the prelims examination. But if you give your 100%, Clearing, not clearing is not in your hand, but you will have this particular respect for yourself that I give my 100%. See, when we don't give 100% and we fail, guilt comes in mind, and that particular guilt will haunt you for your entire life. But if you do give your 100% and then you fail, failure is still a failure, but that guilt will not come. You will not curse yourself that I did not give my 100%, or I could have done more better. If I would have done more better, things would have been more better. At least that guilt will not come in your mind. And guilt is something that haunt every person the most. So this is something. So guys, this was largely the orientation class in terms little bit of general guidance, what you should expect from the class, what will be the structure of the classes, what will be the structure of PED notes, how we are going to approach. Okay, one thing is there that guys, one I can assure you in the last is that coverage wise, fine, you need not to worry. Fine, as I said that wide coverage needs to be there, you need not to worry. Okay, that is all about it.